So it's quite a deciding match for them. No one is going to be eliminated here. Even if you lose, you will keep playing the tournament, but you will not have a shot anymore at playing the tournament with the bigger stakes, which is the pro division, which of course has a bigger prize pool and just better players basically. So yeah, so that's so the winner will move on to play against Maito in the round of 16, I believe. And like I said, it's a best of 5. And the first matchup is going to be Russia against Brits on Florida. So we have here indeed as Russia, Migo, or well, I should say India Bot in the color teal. And on the other side of the map, the Last Samurai in the color blue playing as Brits. So the Last Samurai is an old player. He was playing a long time ago already, and he's been back for a while now. So he's close to top level, I would say. He's improved a lot. He's pretty good at the moment. So definitely a solid player here. And India Bot, which might be a bit better known for you guys, is Migo. He's been around for a while. And he's also a solid player for sure. So we could have a very interesting series here. Anyway, I didn't quite see the crate start, but it looks like it was a wood start, as Russia still has 100 wood on the floor. Decided not to go for hunting dogs or anything, probably because he didn't find any gold treasure. So he felt like going for hunting dogs would maybe slow him down a bit too much, and he doesn't want to be slow. Meanwhile, TLS finding a nice 135 gold treasure here, which he is able to use to buy 100 wood and get hunting dogs. So that's a very nice start for TLS here. I'm gonna call him TLS from now because it's just so much faster than the Last Samurai. So he's got 2 manor houses and hunting dogs, so he should be able to age up pretty quickly with the very nice eco. While Russia just didn't really get anything out of this age 1, although he does get 80 food now. Food treasures are always nice for Russia because they want to age up quickly basically, and they sometimes have a bit of idle time before they can age, so 80 food can make a nice difference. But now we have a treasure contention for that 100 food, and I believe TLS got it. Yep. He's low HP, but Migo not quite getting the snare in. So TLS is going to be able to escape and getting that 100 food before he's going to age. So that is great for him. A bit of sloppy villager control here, maybe killing a bit too many animals, a bit too much walking time. But getting the 100 food and getting that early hunting dogs and double manor houses is definitely going to make up for that anyway. Also eating a sheep. So yeah, he's going to be able to age at the standard time. He's gonna be up at 4 minutes 10 roughly, which is just nice for him. I should have checked the hunts, but it looks like, if anything, Migo got like too many hunts, but I think the hunts of the Last Samurai are fine. Oh, thanks a lot, Robo, for subscribing. Yeah, I mean, TL's got a hunt here, he's got a hunt there, he's got a hunt back here as well, so I think he's alright here. It just, there's not much in this portion of the map, there's not really a lot of food, while Migo has 1 hunt, but I would say this is good enough. Can't have a perfect spawn anyway. So, let's toggle on the Fog of War. Still a couple treasures on the map. TLS actually working on that 90 gold here, which is definitely nice. Standard forward blockouts for Russia, of course, looking to apply some pressure on Brits, or at least to get the map control and contain until Brits run out of hunts, maybe. Either way, it's going to be a rather aggressive plan for Migo. We see 2 vills, which is kind of standard. Maybe not going to be super aggressive. It's a bit hard to say right now. Looks like he did not get hunting dogs in transition, even though he has a market. He did not actually research hunting dogs, so it looks like he's being pretty aggressive, in fact. He's queued 3 bills. He's already got a house, actually. So he's going to be able to instantly send 5 Cossacks probably and queue 5 Musketeers. 5 Cossacks on the way. 5 Musketeers queued just now. Good macro. And so, yeah, that's just a very standard Russian rush here. On the other hand, we have TLS aging up with the tower, which makes a lot of sense as you want to defend the Russian pressure. Maybe a little bit of a forward tower here. Could be a little bit more in the back for safety, but shouldn't be too much of an issue. He's got that stable up because you don't really want to start with infantry against Russia, because if they see you have a barracks, then they can just basically flood some streetlets under your base and idle you forever, and it's very hard to deal with just because Brits do not have a cav shipment. They can ship longbows, but if there's like 10 streetlets, 5 Cossacks, it could be really hard to deal with that. So he decided to open hussars, which is the safer play, I think, and I really like it against Russia here. Getting a nice batch of 5 Huss, nice and early, before 5:30. It's actually a really good time to get a batch of Huss. Adding a barracks already off the back of 700 wood. And finding that trading post, quite a lucky catch here from TLS. Just being able to kill that explorer and deny the TP, and you know, Migo is sort of trying to bring Cossacks to defend. He's not going to be able to save his TP, but he might be able to scare maybe the hussars away, because Migo does not want to get idled too much. He wants to be able to keep producing units and gather resources. So he's just bringing the Cossacks to sort of scare TLS away. But realistically, he's not really able to take a fight, because of course 5 Cossacks will lose to 5 hussars. So this is a win for TLS here. I mean, he's losing some manor houses, but he's got enough pop space, so it's not a big deal. He's idling a bit, forcing the Cossacks back. Like, this is just really good for Brits, right? Russia still hasn't pressured at all. Brits has been able to do whatever he wants for the first 7 minutes, basically. And you know, the Cossacks, instead of being raiding, are actually defending, which is great for Brits here. A bit of poking from TLS, trying to catch the Musks. Interesting, but I think he should go back. There's just too much Russian stuff, and potentially more gonna come out of this blockhouse very soon. So TLS just pulling back instantly, doesn't want to overcome it here. More Musketeers joining the field for TLS, following up his 5 vills, so pretty standard, greedy British play. Injabat not quite reacting just yet, and it looks like he could get cleaned up here. The hussars, you know, they're just tanking so much. Good micro from TLS, pulling back the hussars that are in contact with the Musks. So this is a pretty good trade for TLS at this point. He's lost, like, what, 4 Huss for the entire mass of units. It's not the worst trade for Russia, especially because Russia, you know, Russia can sort of afford to take non-optimal trades. But still, that was definitely a good trade for TLS, and you can see it in the score as well. So TLS very ahead in eco, which makes sense at this point, but also quite ahead in military. So I don't know what the plan really is for Indiabot. Like, he just didn't apply any pressure at all early on, which is a bit questionable. And now he's got, well, that 700 wood he sent, and losing a vill to raid as well. And with that 700 wood, he just made a second blockhouse and added a stable. And now he's ship 13 streetlets, but after losing most of his musketeers, he just doesn't have that many units here. Killing 1 vill, 2 vills going down, a bit sloppy from TLS here, not paying attention. TLS trying to go for the catch. The unit composition is better for Indiabot, but TLS just has more units here. 3 longbows also joining the fight. I think this is going to be a cleanup. Migo is going to lose, Indiabot is going to lose his army again. More hussars joining back from raiding. And yeah, that's just like 30 units to basically none. More Musk going to join the fight. And these Huss are actually Migo taking a pretty good trade here, but still just a lot of units for Brits. And the two blockhouses are not quite next to each other, which means that TLS is actually going to be able to siege that one down without even getting shot by the second blockhouse. Oh, well, he's getting shot, but when you have the two of them next to each other, it makes it easier for Russia to pop some units and defend. But here, you know, it's just a little bit easier for TLS to siege down. 10 Moss popping, but there's just enough longbows and Moss to deal with that. A bit of a raid here, but Migo reacting just fine. Cossacks actually getting on top of the longbows. TLS not really microing that the best he could, but... Oh, and 5 more Moss popping, so... More Hussars joining. This is a very close fight, but now Migo is going to lose his Musketeers. There was, by the way, a 6 longbow shipment for Brits. He can still ship 6 Musketeers if he has to, while Russia is completely out of unit shipments at this point. Just checking the the chat quickly. Looks like everything is fine. All right, 700 gold for TLS. So yeah, this TLS just has a commanding lead in this game. He's also able to gather from that hunt, which is not even the safest one. Like he's got food here. He could get that, although it's under the Russian blockhouse, I guess. But he's got another hunt in the back, and yet he can still afford to use that. So you know he's not in any sort of trouble regarding his hunts. While Migo is just losing another bill here. I think TLS lost 2 bills and Migo lost like 5 maybe. Oh, it's only the second bill actually. Well, then he didn't really make bills because he's only on 24 bills, which is definitely not enough at this point. At this point, as Russia, you should have at least 30 bills or 32 bills, or I don't know, something like that. So he definitely cut some bills as well. Probably when he was making these batches of musketeers, you know, like Migo wanted to just defend his blockhouse, and for that he had to mass a lot, so he didn't make bills. So now Migo is actually already far behind in economy, and I don't think he's gonna be able to mass enough. Although TLS decides to push right into the 3 blockhouses, which is like the worst place to be pushing, but he's got just so much more mass, and he's gonna remass so much more with his eco that I guess it doesn't matter. He can just force a fight here, even though there's 3 blockhouses shooting and stuff. I feel like Russia needed some streetlets. Like, he just can't trade with that much against that much infantry with just mosques. Yeah, he needs more streetlets. Like, he would have needed 20 streetlets here. But now it's just not enough anyway, and the Huss are going to be able to go on the streetlets. Cossacks kind of not able to really defend the streetlets because of the mass of musketeers, and again Migo losing his entire army, and this whole time he's staying on this score while the TLS score is just raising, and that is GG. So basically pretty well played from TLS there. A bit sloppy from Migo maybe, just not really applying any pressure early on, and then just not really hitting any sort of real timing, losing a couple vills, you know, and just not really making vills, and then just TLS winning every fight, just winning a first trade and then snowballing it into more military wins. Like you can see that first trade here was pretty good for TLS. He just lost 3 hussars and or maybe 4 hussars because some of them were low HP, and he killed like 5 Cossacks and 10 Mosques or something like that. So pretty good trade, and then another good trade, and then another good trade, and then a massive remass because he was just gathering so much. He had just a lot of bills, and Russia not really able to remass because, as I said, you see he wasn't really making vills because he was worried he would not be able to defend his blockhouses. So you see he started by making vills constantly, and then he just didn't really make vills. So that's why he was so far behind in eco, and at the end of the day just outgathered by 4k resources, which is huge. So yeah, GG. Can also see the ratio. Just really good trades for TLS all the time, basically. All right, so that makes it 1-0 for TLS. I need to remember to update the score next. And so now TLS has to pick first. It looks like the map is going to be Arkansas, which is a very standard map. Arguably the most standard EP map. Like, you've got no water, you've got a decent TP line, but nothing special. You've got sort of average resources, or a bit high resources, I guess. Just nothing really fancy on this map. And looks like TLS is locking in Russia, although he's okay. Now he confirms that he will lock Russia for this game. So now Migo can counterpick that with any civ he wants. I'm not sure Russia is the wisest first pick on Arkansas. Like Spain. Yeah, I guess Spain is a really good counter to Russia, actually. I would have probably gone Germany, because Germany also just counters Russia pretty well. And I know that Migo is a German player. I don't know how good his Spain is, but it's definitely a good matchup for Spain. It's just very hard for Russia to rush Spain at all, because Spain is fast. So even if you rush, they will be basically aging up before you can do anything. So even if you idle them, they are aging already. So, you know, it's not like you can prevent the age up. It's not like China or something. Spain has the tower, which makes it a bit painful to try to idle them. They have the dogs. They can ship 7 rods. Called Minutemen, age up with 4 hussars at 7 minutes something. So, you know, it's like just really hard for Russia to be super aggressive against Spain. It's also hard to go for any kind of timing, because Spain will get a lot of units in early fortress, so it's very, very hard to punish them. And then if you don't push them and you stay H2 as Russia, it's going to be really hard to kill the falconets if you give Spain a bit of time to get some anti-cav and falconets going. And so I guess, from my experience, the best option in this matchup is actually to age up as Russia, like just sort of like FF or semi-FF or something. But I do feel like Spain should be able to FF themselves and be aggressive and just push Russia before they can really get an FF going, just because the Russian FF is not the greatest. It's a bit slow, and you've got to upgrade your Mosques or Stridets or Cossacks or whatever you need to make, really, except Cabalchers. So it's a bit slow. Anyway, we do have here on the right side of the map India Bot playing Spain in the color teal again, and TLS playing Russia in the color blue again on the left side of the map. And we do have a subscription. Thanks a lot for subscribing. So it was a wood start, and IndiaBot decided to go for a TP, and I really do not like it, especially on this map, because you don't even get a good XP. I feel like this is just, especially against Russia, this is just not good. Like, he's gonna age so late. And I was saying, you know, it's really hard to rush Spain. It's really hard to idle Spain or do anything in H2. But if they age up late, then it's definitely possible to just pressure them as Russia. So I'm not a fan of that trading post, really. But we'll see how it goes. The last samurai got a bunch of coin treasures. He could actually just gather his wood crate, build a market, buy wood, and still have enough gold and get hunting dogs. And I would like him to do that, because he would just age up earlier with the market and hunting dogs. So, well, maybe he just wants to keep the resources to be more aggressive, but I do feel like a market here would be a really nice. Now working on that one dog treasure. It's a new treasure. We felt like 2 dogs was just a bit broken, but so like we removed one of the bears and removed one of the dogs, and TLS does get it. It's gonna be a dog fight here. I kind of want to focus the dog first for boss players, actually, because the dog has low HP but a lot of attack, so you want to kill it first. Now you can see already Indiabot got the advantage directly just because he focused the dog. So now the dog is dead, so that treasure basically did nothing for TLS. Bit sloppy, but not a big deal. And Indiabot did get 75 wood. So he might go for a market. Usually you chop for a trading post as Spain when you age to age 2, but obviously he's already got a trading post, so he probably doesn't want to get a second one, and instead he might just go for a market and hunting dogs, which is a nice way to spend your resources instead of the TP, especially because he's got that wood. But we'll see about that. We'll see what he decides to do. Let's see if Spain has... He doesn't have colonial militia either, which can be something you want against Russia. Also doesn't have stuff like 12 pikes or 8 pikes. I feel like against Russia you want more unit shipments. It's not... You're probably not gonna ship Spanish gold, right? No matter what, you're not gonna ship that against Russia. So I feel like this deck could be a little bit more adapted to the matchup, maybe not the greatest anti-Russia deck, but it's got the main cards you want, so it should be alright. TLS deck, weird card to have. Maybe not. Maybe it could have some other cards as well, but anyway. Rather standard decks for boss players here. There's a veiled treasure here, but it's 4 bears now, so it's quite hard to take. Russia might want to take it with 5 Cossacks, like just go raid and then bring your Cossacks back and pick this up and get yourself a veil. Might be a nice thing to do. Tower going down instantly for Spain. He needs to herd a little bit more that hunt, and then he will be quite safe. He did not go for a market, so yeah, you kind of want to go for a market. If you age 16 vills, you're gonna gather more resources, and you don't need a trading post. So basically, my point is that now Indiabot is gonna have like 1k5 food when he wants to age, which is useless, right? You might as well have a market instead. But I guess he just wanted to play it safe. At least now he's got all the food he needs and he can just TC fire the musketeers, I guess. And yeah, that's just the problem, right? Like, you don't want to send your musks in there against a tower and a TC. It's just a waste of units. At this point, you might as well go for the trading post, because it's realistically the only building you're going to be able to really pressure. Interestingly enough, Indiabot escaped 2 vills already on that coin mine, so he's ready to, you know, be able to drop some buildings. Because like, if you get really pressured a lot, you might not be able to build houses, and if you can't build houses, you can't ship units, and if you can't ship units, you're dead, basically. So just in case, he escaped 2 vills, which is a smart move, just so that he might be able to drop houses, mostly, or maybe a market to buy wood, or whatever, really, even a military building if he has to. So it's a good move. Dogs gonna save the TP. Russia cannot really fight the dogs. Like, they're really strong, and the Russian musks are not that good. So he's gonna have to run away. Looks like TLS was a bit indecisive there. That's actually unlucky, kind of. Well, I mean, Indiabot just pushing the musks away towards that gold mine. So actually, TLS just finding the vills and just killing one of them and denying that that location for Teal. 7 rods, 6. Oh no, he's got 6 rods instead of 7. Jeez, that's not good. You've got a 7 rod shipment and EP, so basically it's like he would have deleted a rod here. But yeah, anyway, I wanted to say TLS shipped his 700 wood so late. It looks like he was first shipping Cossacks and then just changed his mind, and then he just shipped 700 wood, so it came really late, and then 700 gold. He's got 2 blockhouses and a stable going up. So kind of a delayed build by TLS just because he wasn't sure what to do. And he also just, he did kill a Vil, but he also lost 10 mosques for 1 dog and a Vil. So he forced a rod shipment, but, you know, that's not a big deal. Like, the question now is, how is TLS going to deal with the 2 falconets? Because, like, there's 5 rods. But Indiabot can train more rods or musketeers, or he can even ship something and then ship falconets. And when he's got falconets, it's gonna be tough for Russia to deal with that. Indiabot picking himself a Vil here, like I mentioned earlier, so that's a nice move. No TP, by the way, for TLS, which is a bit surprising, because if you're not gonna be aggressive, I think you might as well take a trading post. 13 street edge shipment for TLS and training more mosques. 2 falconets coming forward. Indiabot might want to train more units. Oh, he's got a stable. It's gonna be fine just because TLS doesn't have that much cav, but like the only anti-cav in this army is 5 rods. So these falconets are not so well protected right now because Indiabot decided to go for lancers. But now there's a 9 rod shipment coming in, so it's gonna be enough. And now Russia is ahead in eco, obviously, because Spain just doesn't have a lot of eco, and Russia, well, they do have a pretty good eco. But, you know, no matter how much eco you have here, as Russia, just how do you kill these falconets in H2 without like deleting your entire army for them? It's actually really tough here for Russia. Like I just don't know. Like he's gonna have to raid and try to maybe base trade or something, or maybe just hope he can snipe one of the falconets. But he can't take this fight straight on like that. He can't just like take a fight against that unit composition. So yeah, it's gonna be... We'll see how TLS deals with that, but it's gonna be tough for sure. Because like the 2 falcons basically kill this entire infantry mass in a few volleys, and then there's just so much melee units to defend the falconets. So TLS is trying to flank from several sides, which is probably the right thing to do, calling Minutemen as well, surrounding the falconets, but again, a pretty good positioning here from Indiabot. Just killing the Cossacks on one side, sending the rods on the other. Falconets just steering through the infantry. But it looks like, after all, Russia is okay here somehow. I wonder. Although more rods... Imagine if that would be 5 lancers. It would be great. But more rods is not exactly ideal, but... Okay, this trade was a little bit better for Russia than I expected, somehow. But still, it's a cleanup for Spain. And even though Russia has more eco, Spain, like, he's got another shipment on the way, I think, probably. Like, he just killed so many units here, he's gonna get so much experience and just gonna be able to ship more stuff. And it's probably gonna be just 5 lancers now, and a couple of Vils going down. More Cossacks popping though, so Indiabot has to be careful not to overcommit. Most of his units are actually on the other side of the map, so... but he needs more than just lancers. Why take this fight now? He's got half of his mass not in the fight, and... I guess the dogs are really strong though. They are insane actually. But they're not fighting. That's painful. But still, like, just so many lancers, even though they're not the best unit against Cossacks, there's just so many of them they're gonna clean up. And the dogs as well. More mosques, but honestly at this point you might as well just not send your mosques. I would just hide my mosques, because they're just gonna die and do almost nothing here. They're just gonna get destroyed. So yeah, and there's still some unit shipments for Spain, surely. got still 4 Lancers and 5 Huss he can ship. So 1 more Veil going down. Like even the eco is not that one-sided. More Veil's gonna die. Cossacks coming in. I think now it's time for Indiabat to just run away. Exactly. He cannot really fight this. And even if he could, it would not be a good trade. Ah, yeah, that's gonna be a good trade for TLS for sure. And the thing is, Spain... Ah, well, with the dogs, never mind. Again, the dogs, they're so strong. Like, look at how quickly they kill Cossack here. So actually, it's gonna be another good trade for Migo. But he does need to add something more than just Lancers, because eventually it's probably not going to be enough. Like, he kind of needs to add a barracks and just make anything really. Like, anti-cav, just vet musks or rods or anything. But he can't just keep making only Lancers, because they are just not very good against Cossacks. Jamming all his units in there. Oh, he's making goons actually. I guess goon Lancer can be an option. It's definitely a strong unit composition against Russia. It's just a little bit hard to get enough goons as Spain, especially when you did not ship 5 vills, because of this rod shipment, he did not ship 5 vills at all. So yeah, goons are gonna be hard to really mass, but if he can get a decent mass of dragoons, it's gonna be a very good unit composition against Russia. He can even still ship 4 Lancers and get just like so many Lancers and the goons in the back, and it's gonna be a real tough for Russia to deal with. So yeah, this game looks pretty over to me, but maybe TLS can come back somehow. After all, he's playing Russia. If there's one civ that can come back, usually it's Russia. So we'll see. But you know, he's just not hunting in safe locations. He can't really afford to build like a blockhouse. Like he would need to build a blockhouse here, but he needs to make units because he's so far behind in military. He really needs to spend all the resources he has to make more units. But he, like, if Indiabat just finds this location, it's gonna be a massacre. So. And somebody gonna die here. Most likely all of them. Maybe one. Maybe that guy is gonna go in the TC. Nope. Good block by Migo. Another Veil gonna go down. So now basically the eco is almost even. What about the market upgrades? No market for Spain actually. He's really all in. I feel like a market would not hurt him, but. Boya's coming in, so the Cossacks do really well against Lancers, and there's only 3 Dragoons, but there's just so much Spain stuff, like so many units, it doesn't really matter, it's just gonna clean up. More mosques just about to be deleted. Would have liked Migo to make even just 5 more goons would have been good, like 8 goons would be enough to like one-shoot Cossacks and stuff. But regardless, yeah, just another cleanup. And meanwhile, TLS is barely gathering any resources. Like most of his vills are idled in his blockhouse and in his TC, trying to gather from berries, not even able to gather from berries. So that is not what you want. More goons coming in a bit late. Would have liked these goons to be here earlier. If Migo would realize this is going on, well, there's going to be a blockhouse, but it would have been basically GG directly if he found that. He might find it now, but there's going to be a blockhouse up. Cav combat not affecting Dragoons, unfortunately for Spain. These Dragoons will not be upgraded, but the Lancers definitely are upgraded now. I wonder if this card is not better on EP because it adds 2 range to your hand attack, 2 more range, and an extra multiplier against infantry. I wonder if that is better than Cav combat now or not. Not sure. More musks about to be deleted. These are gonna die. Cav combat Lancers. Like, look at that. Even the goons shooting away in the back. Not even one Lancer going down. Jeez. Yeah, I think it's about time TLS resigns. I mean, now he's gonna lose his blockhouse. These viewers are in great danger. He's gonna try to escape, but this is not. He cannot go that way. Sometimes you can on this map. Like here, there's a path, but here there isn't. So he's gonna try to escape his viewers away, but you know, not really gonna be able to gather hunts. Migo found them. Yeah, that's definitely GG. I mean, yeah, right. That matchup is really tough for Russia. And also TLS, to be fair, deleted 10 Musketeers at the start. So that was not too good. And, you know, just waiting so long. Like, he shipped his 700 wood at 6 minutes something. I mean, he had it on the field at 6 minutes, like 15 or something, when in fact he should ship it at 4:45 and get it at 5:25. So he got his shipment almost a minute late, which also delayed his next shipment. So like the whole build order from TLS was just already delayed from that. So that's why, you know, he's not really getting anything out. He just got a super early 5 masks and then nothing. And the 5 masks did nothing at all anyway. Then he made 5 more and then they just died. And that fight again could have gone even better for Spain, I think, but it was just enough. And then Spain just remasses more. GG. That was pretty well played by Migo. All right, so we're playing now in Colorado. This is 1-1 in this best of 5. Close series so far. Now Migo has to pick first and no Spain because he's won with Spain, which is actually nice. Maybe that is why he went Spain, right? I said
Yes.
I said he could have gone Germany instead of Spain, but when you think about it, if you have to pick first now, you might as well be Germany, right? Although this is not a very good German map at all. Like you've got only one gold mine and the treasures are really good. And usually good treasures are not good for Germany because you might as well be like France or Sioux or I don't know, like a sieve that can pick up the treasures more efficiently. So yeah, it's not the greatest German map, but it's not a bad German map either. And again, yeah, that's probably why he decided to counter with Spain because now he can't pick Spain anymore, but he probably just doesn't care about Spain anymore. So he just won a game with Spain, and now he can get the Germany out. While TLS won a game with Brits, which means now he can't use Brits anymore, and Brits are TLS main civ. So that is a bit of a problem for him. And now TLS just counter-picking Germany with Russia, which is questionable to say the least. I mean, this map is good for Russia in this matchup because like the trading post is not like it's the trading post is kind of close to your base, but you know Russia can still get it down rather easily. And like I said, there's only one coin mining base for Russia, for Germany. So Germany might have to go for a crossbow pike sort of build and not for the standard calf semi because then they might be out of gold a bit too quickly. That kind of stuff. So you know it's a good map for Russia, but still I think the matchup is German favored. So maybe not the greatest counter pick here from TLS, but we'll see what he can do. And we got a wood start as well, so Germany is just going to be able to go for a trading post straight off the bat. Can even crackshot one of these guys and then get a Cougar, which is going to help him take the next treasures, like this one, for example. So pretty good for Germany already. TLS picking up 30 gold. He's got another 20 gold, so TLS could get a market in hunting dogs if he wants to chop 50 wood, or if he if he finds a wood treasure maybe, because there's a lot of wood treasures on this map. But now he's working on a Nutka, which is nerfed but still a good unit for sure. It's also nice to pick up the Nutka as Russia here, because if you don't pick up the Nutka, then your opponent might, and the Nutka still does full siege damage. So it could get the blockhouse down or almost. So I guess that's maybe why he decided to go for the Nutka. India about getting the Cougar, which is not as good at fighting, but is better against Treasure Guardians, basically. Oh, there was also a 40 wood treasure in Migo's base. He might have wanted to crackshot that earlier, but yeah, anyway, he chopped 100 wood and now he's gonna drop the house. But he's not sending his to settle wagon shipment, so he's losing a lot of resources now because he didn't crackshot that directly in H1. He just waited a bit too much. So, well, not ideal, but still, he didn't have to chop that 40 wood, so it's nice for him. Now getting a wolf as well. And you see that Cougar is like really strong against Treasure Guardians. And we do have the Nutka here. TLS did get 110 gold, which is nice for sure. We can have a look at their decks. That's a very standard German deck. And that's the same deck as previous game for TLS. So there's more, there's another pet. This bear is actually really strong. But there's also a 90 wood and a 95 wood, so still some good treasures on this map. It looks like we had a treasure contention here, and TLS was able to get the native scouts. But the Nutka is going to be already good here, going to be able to snare that wolf and just kill it. So TLS basically cleaning up the pets of India bot here and getting himself a native scout, which is going to be really nice, of course. India, but smartly going for that treasure in the corner. Like, he knows he can't do much more because of these units, but he just banked on the fact that this treasure is in the corner of the map, so TLS was not likely to steal it, and so he's gonna get away with getting another 90 gold. And gonna try to find something else here, but I feel like there's just nothing anymore on that side of the map, so just not really gonna find anything. While TLS is gonna get the wood, which is going to be very nice for him. Forward blockhouse, very standard stuff, 2 views. So he just kept all the gold and all the wood and didn't make a market and just goes straight for a blockhouse. So this is going to be quite aggressive, I expect. He will go market with the in H2 because he's gonna get a wood treasure and 400 wood, so he will be able to get easily a market and hunting dogs and stuff. But for now, he's just very all in, just you know, standard Russia stuff. TLS does need to hurt a bit more. He might get raided, even though he's the one pressuring. Germany will, of course, get some free Ulans, so you might want to hurt that a little bit more because it could be a problem for him in a minute or so. Like, there's a lot of exposed bills for TLS. One here, 2 here, and another here. He's getting line of sight with the house, which is nice, but he does need to hurt this more. On the other hand, Migo did a good job at herding. He's starting with a stable and getting steel traps. That's very questionable. Like he's not gonna get the pop space for a full batch of Ulans, basically. Or maybe barely, but then he's gonna be housed. Especially because of the early TP, he's got another shipment on the way, so it's 2 more Ulans on the way, so he can make only like 3 Ulans or something, and then he's gonna be just housed. Kind of greedy. I don't know why you would go that greedy against Russia. Like, stable start is already kind of greedy, so if you also get still traps, it's a bit risky, but looks like he's gonna be fine actually. TLS just pulling back. I feel like he wants to keep pushing. I mean, you know he had an early TP, which means you're always a little bit slower. Like, Germany ages a little bit late. They don't have their market early, so they have less resources overall. So you can be more aggressive, especially when you get 10 musketeers that quickly. You can push and just do some damage before Germany can really set up barracks and that kind of stuff. But instead, TLS is just pulling back. Not even trying to get the TP down here. And just going to defend his hunt. Which is not what you want to do in this matchup, for sure. If he's going to do that, he's just going to let Germany get away with aging up. And then it's kind of really bad for Russia. He might catch 2 Ulans, though, if Migo doesn't go back. Migo is going to react, but he's going to block himself with the house. Okay, so these Ulans are going to escape. And yeah, TLS is just sort of pinned in his base right now, not really doing anything. And that's just not what you want in this matchup as Russia. Migo is macroing for an age up. He did not even ship 700 gold, interestingly enough. He's got a double in queue. I think he could cancel that Ulan and just keep 1 dop in queue just in case. You never know. Like, let's say he gets pushed right now and he can pop 5 dops and it's always good. But he's gonna just cancel everything and age. He could re-queue, like queue again a dop now. That would be nice. It's just safe. Queuing an Ulan, which is good already. I mean, it's good that he's queuing units. Dop might be safer. So like I said, the prime for Germany is that he's very low in gold already, but he's getting away with aging for free, so it should be fine. Like, usually you would need, to spend more gold on like Minutemen and more Ulans and stuff like that. Maybe some Dops even. And then you're out of gold before you even age 3, and then you're in big trouble. But instead, he's able to age just fine because Russia did nothing, and he's got like, he just canceled the shipment, so he was probably shipping 8 bows just in case. He canceled it, so now he can ship like 3 war wagons most likely. And there is sort of a timing for Russia here. He did get some big batches of units out with 700 gold, but because he does not have a trading post, which again is kind of questionable. Because he does not have a trading post, he doesn't have 4 Cossacks yet, so his push is a bit weaker, and I'm afraid it might not be enough to already punish Germany at this point. Like, he's getting houses down, but Germany still has 200 wood, so he could like just drop 2 houses here. And then when 3 war wagons are on the field, Russia has to go back basically. Yeah, and now it's gonna be tough for Russia. He needed to do something in H2. He was really just way too passive. He did nothing at all. And now the timing just destroyed 1 house, nothing more. But that could be huge. That could be totally game-changing here. Again, that map doesn't have good gold mines for Germany. Look at that. The second one is under the blockhouse, and the other ones are really far away on the side. So, so actually, Russia is gonna force a fight here. And this is not a good fight for Germany. And this is the problem when you skip 700 gold, you just run out of gold faster. The war wagons getting caught by the Cossacks. Streetets also sniping war wagons down. And this is kind of GG actually. Ah man, this doesn't make sense. This game was just so good for Germany. He only needed to, like, I don't know, just not lose his entire army here. I don't know how he's gonna do now. I mean, he lost his war wagons. He's got no units. He might be able to ship 9 Ulans and just get veterancy and clean this up with Minutemen. Like I feel like TLS should not push here. This is the only way TLS is gonna lose this game, by pushing right here. Because like Minutemen and 9 Ulans and he just gets cleaned up almost. 8 skirms is not gonna be what he needs. Minutemen, wheels popping. Indiabot trying to get the most out of this tricky situation. It might just be enough actually. Cossacks going down pretty quickly. One war wagon popping. Yeah, gonna just die. Skirm's gonna shoot away. Minutemen's still alive, so you know he's sort of holding here, but at what cost? He's just not gathering any resource whatsoever. He's losing views. He's probably not making views, and he's just losing his skirm shipment, and that is probably just GG. I mean, I don't see what you do from this point as Germany. I just don't know. Man, he should have just gone 700 gold already. Like, oh, he's gonna clean this up though. Cossacks being away. So TLS is gonna melee the mosques, sort of sacking the mosques. They're gonna die. They're not even gonna trade. They're really just gonna die. But the Stridettes might be able to escape. So there is still hope for Migo here. Like, he just has so many shipments because he did not ship 700 gold. So obviously he's just got more shipments. But again, 700 gold would have just been better. And now there's just so many Cossacks with boyars. This is probably not a fight TLS wants to. I mean, Indiabot wants to take. I feel like TLS should just fight this. I mean, boyars Cossacks against vet Ulans, low HP vet Ulans, kind of. Just he could fight, but he decides to just let the Vils die, which is also okay probably, and just mass more. 600 gold, so he's gonna be able to get more musketeers and more Cossacks out. He's still got hunts in base. He's also hunting over there. A bit risky, but looking good for TLS so far. Not getting raided here. Still ahead in eco, ahead in military. Indiabot ahead by 1 age, but he's already used his 3 best unit shipments. So he's still gonna have 8 Ulans and 7 skirms, for example. But, you know, it's just not as good anymore. And the Ulans, this is not a good fight for Indiabot. These boyar Cossacks are gonna tear through the Ulans here. And I don't really know why Migo takes this fight, but it's not gonna be good for him. Yeah, and then he calls the GG. He's just got nothing, like no map control, no the units. So that was really surprising. I mean, Germany just got a free age up, but he just aged a bit too late because of no 700 gold, and just like was out of gold because of no 700 gold. And then he just sort of got totally destroyed here at this gold mine. Also, you don't really want to train 5 skirms. I feel like you want to just train war wagons against Russia. Like, imagine he would have had, I don't know, 6, 7, or 8 war wagons or something with 3 plus a batch. He might have been able to hit and run at the gold mine just fine and force Russia to go back. Maybe he would lose a few vils, but he would be able to get value out of that just by trading his vils for some units. And then keep the control of that gold and be able to mass more units. But instead, he just made skirms and they died, and the 3 war wagons were not enough and they also died. And, you know, that was just not ideal from Migo. They're a bit sloppy. I feel like he already had, he had the perfect situation for Germany. He could do whatever he wanted. He got an age up for free. He got steel traps up on age up, just made almost 2 units and went age 3. And then he just lost. Like, he had everything he needed. Jesse could be up earlier and have more gold because he would ship 700 gold and then just get war wagons and you're fine, really. It's really about that. It's really about having enough units when you need to move out to your second gold mine. If you're not making crossbow pike, like I suggested, then you're sort of like destroying your gold mine. So you have to like get units out real quick before you move on to the second mine. And he did not do that, and it just cost him the game really. Which makes it 2-1 for TLS in this best of 5. Make only war wagon. What about 23 street heads? I'm just reading the chat with 2 minutes delay. Well, I mean, Russia is not gonna go for 23 street heads because if you do that, you might get cleaned up by vet Ulans or anything. Plus, you can still hit and run with war wagons. Like it's really about denying the snare. Like if you have enough war wagons, then Russia cannot snare your vills with Cossacks, like he did here. So then you can save your vills basically. So Migo. Alright, yeah. TLS picks first, he's going Dutch, and Migo can still go Germany actually. He did not win with Germany. If you play a Civ but you do not win with it, then you can still play it as many times as you want until you win with it. So if I were Migo here, I would just keep Germany. This is a decent German map. You might be able to even stagecoach against Dutch. You know, and this is just a really good matchup for Germany in my opinion. So I would just keep Germany here, but we'll see what Migo does. China, yeah, that's also a good matchup. Definitely tough for Dutch. So it looks like we're gonna have Dutch against China for this game 4 of the best of 5 between Migo and TLS. Don't listen to Kaiser. He's just a bad player and a little crybaby. Well, I suggest that next game, next match, I mean, you just come and cast and show us your skills. Just explain the high level games to us. I can't wait. All right. Dutch against China indeed. Then again, the crates matter a lot. If it's a gold start, it's obviously much better for Dutch. If it's a wood start, it's much better for China. So we'll have to look for that. And it is a gold start. However, TLS is missing the top mine. What about the hunts? Hunts are fine. But yeah, there's just a missing mine for TLS. He does not have that one. Then again, you know, China is not that aggressive, and you have a coin start, so TLS could decide to just play it out. I honestly would play it out as Dutch here. Alright, yeah. He probably realized that the gold start is maybe more impactful than the top mine because you probably will have access to the other coin mines against China, so he's gonna play it out. And so China is working on a 75 wood treasure. So he's gonna chop. He's just gonna chop wood until he gets 400. 400 is gonna be 2 villages or maybe a village and a trading post. I'm not sure just yet. But he's gonna do something with it. Well, he's dropping the village right now. I'm gonna go for a trading post there, and he will probably get the XP as well. So this is pretty nice for Migo. Good start. Meanwhile, Dutch did get 100 food, which is also really nice, and 40 gold. So we expect Dutch to be up really early. He could even go for a 14 age up if he wanted to, probably. And yeah, easily gonna get the XP. Oh, TLS spotting 110 gold. What a good treasure for Dutch. And gonna work on it. Crack shooting one of the wolves and then hit and running. Migo, nice little trick there. Just, you know, you can bait the bear. Like if you start the stun ability and then you cancel it, they're gonna follow your explorer, and then you can just stun when you're at the limit like that, and then you can kill one of the bears, and the other one is just not gonna be able to attack you, and then you can just go and stun the second one and then take the treasure. So it's a good trick by Migo here. Good micro. Bringing the disciple as well. 120 food here. This map has a lot of really good treasures. Although they have been nerfed. 110 gold used to be 150. This used to be 150 food, and this used to be 160 XP actually. This was 160, which is huge. So we nerfed them because there was just too many insane treasures on this map. So it's a bit more reasonable now. TLS working on that 120 food, but Migo is nearby and gonna, you know, deny it. Although TLS just crackshot one, he's being smart. He doesn't want to commit to taking the treasure, so he's just crackshooting one and then waiting and gonna crackshot the second one. And so Migo is gonna have to wait as well. So, you know, boss player is just kind of waiting here. Maybe Migo is gonna try to steal it before TLS can. Oh, but now they're gonna see each other. And TLS is gonna have to run away until he can get his next crack shot and try to take it. So Migo aging with 4 wheels and the Wonder. Just very standard stuff. TLS dropping his bank a little bit late actually. I mean, after this age one, you would expect him to have the bank a little bit earlier, but it's not the biggest deal. He does have a nice food bank. He may be mismacroed, like he maybe gathered too much food and not enough wood, which is not ideal, but means he will get his second bank really quickly after the first one, so it's not too bad. He did also get the 120 food here, so nice little pickup for him. Like now when he gets 700 wood, he's gonna be able to drop yet another bank directly. So this is... It's always like that with Dutch. If you have a good start, it just snowballs super quickly. You get so much experience from your banks. You can drop them so much earlier than sometimes. You know, sometimes you drop them later than that. Now it's not even 5 minutes. He's got his second bank up. Gonna gather wood and get the third bank up. He's got the XP for the bank wagon, probably. I mean, we expect a bank wagon shipment now. So he's gonna have 4 banks in no time. It's just really good for Dutch. Meanwhile, Injapat not gathering any wood, so we expect just a standard FF here. And China aging at a decent time. Ah, he decided to build a house and a market. He could have built a bank and have 5 banks now, but he decided to go for the house and the market, which is not bad, but probably not as good as a bank. Well, he needs a house, but he could chop 50 wood for the house or wait for 600 wood or something. But anyway, yeah, so he's got 4 banks, getting the food upgrades. This is not going to be an aggressive game. I mean, we're going to have an FF against an FF. Another house. Not sure what that is going to achieve just now, but I feel like he should have gotten steel traps. Or even placer mines or anything. Just a market upgrade instead of that house, because he just doesn't need the pop space at all. And obviously an upgrade is useful while this house is useless, so I feel like he should have gotten an upgrade. 600 wood now. If he's gonna build 5 banks, he really should have built the 5th bank with instead of that useless stuff. would have been much better if he's gonna go 5 banks. If he doesn't go 5 banks, then it's fine. It looks like he's not. I mean, he's got only 1 Vil on wood. It feels like he just wants to age now. He doesn't want to spend resources on an extra bank. He just wants to age up, which is also okay. I mean, 5 banks against China might be too greedy. So they're both going to age up at almost the same time. Migo getting that native post, which is going to grant him some experience. And also going to allow him to train city bees if he wants to, and to get that nice upgrade which gives all your units more HP. And getting another XP treasure, really good treasures on this map. Envoy going to go down, caught by the Summer Palace Patch. And so yeah, China is up, Dutch will be up in 5 seconds. He did get steel traps now. He's got a barracks and a stable. War Academy going up for Migo. So it looks like he wants to play Fortress. Fast Industrial is definitely an option against Dutch. The Chinese Fast Industrial is really strong and really hard for Dutch to punish. However, if you're gonna train city bees, obviously going industrial and also booming like that would be too greedy. So he's just staying H3 and building a second barracks. Shipping 1k gold, but he's not going to use it for an age up. He's going to use it for units. So, you know, just getting extra vils, setting all his vils on food. He's got the 2 food upgrades. So not the best market upgrades, but right now it's okay because he's only gathering food. And he's going to spam from 2 buildings. So it's an interesting build here. And meanwhile, TLS is going for 1k wood, I think, because he's not gathering any wood. So it's not like he's going to punish this at all. Huh. Maybe forgot to ship his... Maybe he changed his mind, and but that's a kind of a late 1k wood. So now TLS is scouting that China is not aging up. He knows this is not a fast industrial. He knows China is just gonna make units. So you know, he was kind of pushing forward. He was like, oh man, maybe China is just going H4, and then with his Explorer he just spotted it, and then he just decided to go back because he doesn't want to overcome it or anything. China now just moving forward a bit. I don't expect him to be overly aggressive because he doesn't have that many units. I mean, he invested resources into a second barracks and into that trading post and city bees. So China doesn't have the largest mass they could ever get at this point in the game. So I don't know that he should be too aggressive just yet. Anyway, with the city bees, he's not gonna even be behind in eco. He can't even outgather Dutch at this point if he just gets full market upgrades. I'm pretty sure he outgathers Dutch. But looks like he decides to push. He does have much more military than Dutch, to be fair. But the pikes are kind of useless right now. There's just enough Reiters to kill the Meteor Hammers, enough skirms to challenge the Chinese skirms. So, you know, I'm not sure that China can do so much right now. Especially because Dutch is going to have a unit shipment. He's got a unit shipment on the way. 8 skirms popping, that is the right unit shipment. It's what he needs to deal with this unit composition. So now Dutch has just enough skirms. More than enough skirms, actually. He's got more skirms and his skirms are more expensive. So he's just got more ranged infantry right now. So that bank is definitely not going to go down. By the way, TLS did build the last bank from the 1k wood, which makes, of course, a lot of sense. Infantry combat already from China, maybe a little bit greedy here. But I guess it's okay. I just don't know that China really wants to go for the skirm war against Dutch, because obviously as China you spend half of your... I mean, when you train skirms, you also get Chengdaos, so I don't think you can really out-skirm Dutch. Especially because Dutch can also ship infantry combat. So I'm not sure this is the right plan for Migo. I don't know that. And basically, as China usually, you just make a lot of cav against Dutch, I think. And you don't really want to make too many skirms. If anything, he could have got for repelling volley, because repelling volley is insane when you want to snipe the Reiters and goons. So maybe that would have been better than infantry combat here. But anyway, they're gonna fight a bit. But then again, you know, Migo doesn't really have enough cav to go in because of the Reiter mass, and he also doesn't have enough skirms to poke. So it's a bit of an awkward situation for Migo. Maybe he's gonna try to take a fight with the pikes. No, he's changing his mind. He realizes that he probably cannot. Oh, he could have maybe tried to fight with the redcoats, like just surround. But he's gonna instead give 3 kills. So losing half of his redcoat badge is pretty painful. Also getting sniped by the skirms here. So looks like TLS is just in a good spot right now. Then again, this is China. You never know. Like next fight is gonna be a big set move, and maybe TLS is just gonna lose his entire army. But so far it looks good for TLS. Also getting infantry combat himself, so not gonna be behind in the skirmisher war. Some cav trying to go forward and tank. But regardless, I don't think China can keep trading like that. Like China's gotta go back. He can't. He's got half the skirms, man. He can't keep just fighting this. Sending the cav in, looks like it's go time for China, but he doesn't have enough cav. Again, you need more cav against Dutch. Good micro by TLS, just cleaning up the cav really quickly. And what's left? Just a bunch of users, pikes and some skirms. So yeah, this doesn't look good at all for Migo. Might just be the end of the series. He's also gonna run out of hunts. Oh, iron troops. If only he didn't waste his cav, he would be okay. He could take a fight now, he could be sending his cav now, but instead he's just wasting all his cav before iron troops. So that's a misplay. He could have been so fine with these iron troops here if he just didn't waste his cav. And the redcoats. Not ideal for China here. But still, he's in this game. Iron troops are really strong, especially against skirms and Reiters. So, you know, still a close game. Just could have been much better for China. Meanwhile, he got a bit more market upgrades, but not quite all of them. He still misses the most important one, Imperial Bureaucracy. And also the second gold upgrade. So China's eco is not as good as it could be. It's basically 10% less than it could be. Adding a second TC, so looks like Migo really wants to play this slowly. Like just try to go to late game and outscale Dutch. And to be fair, China does outscale Dutch, I would say. But he needs to survive that long. He really needs more cav, basically. Some hussars being added by TLS. He does have cav combat, and he's teching veteran hussars. So, if you can get more of these, it could be a problem for TLS, because even though he's got a bunch of anti-cav, just even like 5 huss like that, or 10 huss like that can just force the anti-cav to come forward, and then they get sniped. So it could be annoying for Migo to deal with. These trees just splitting. Very good positioning from TLS here. Just the trees splitting the armies away, and you know, all the melee infantry going in the skirms looks a bit laggy right now. And all the infantry getting caught out of position by the hussar. This is very unfortunate for Migo. That was just a bad pathing, and he just lost his entire army. But anyway, I think he would just lose the fight regardless. Honestly, but that was a little bit unfortunate. You've got to be careful where your units are going. You can't just have your anti-cav on one side and the ranged infantry on the other. I mean, it makes sense that it lags more when there's more units fighting than in the other games. There was not. I don't think there was a point where they had that kind of big armies. It was more aggressive games. They never really massed that much, so it was probably less laggy. So yeah, that was such a waste of units from Migo. If he didn't waste the cab and all his stuff there, also here he gave quite a lot of free kills apparently. So many free kills, like Migo basically lost because of his free kills this game. If he just didn't, he would be so far ahead. He would be like at 100 pop here and he could just crush. Like, if he just waited for Iron Troops, he would be so far ahead in military. He could just win the game, no problem, I think. But yeah, just a bit of a sloppy unit control or sloppy decisions maybe from Migo taking these fights and just losing a lot. Not ideal. And like this looks like Dutch outgathers a lot, but in fact, for this matchup, like you expect Dutch to outgather more than that. But China got the CDBs, although he did not get the best market upgrades. But like following the resources of Dutch like that is really good for China actually, because they also get free stuff on top. And Dutch, a lot of these resources are actually into banks, so Dutch actually didn't really outgather China so much. So if only he would basically get his shit together, get a big army and then fight, I think China would win, but did not happen. So TLS is winning that last game, makes it 3-1 for him, and he wins the best of 5. So Migo is gonna go down to the advanced division